So this weekend I went to go see the new Demon Slayer movie without having ever seen an episode of Demon Slayer, the movie that came out a few years back, the trailer for this new movie, or even really having any idea what Demon Slayer is. So let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comments section. If you're a fan of Demon Slayer, let me know, what did you think about this new Demon Slayer fan event that came out this past weekend? Or if you're like me and somehow got roped into going to go watch it without having any idea what it was, what was your experience like? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well. Anyway, to give you a little bit of context, I legitimately haven't ever seen an episode or a movie from the Demon Slayer franchise. From the name of it, I was able to just put together that it's about slaying demons. And that's about all I knew about it. But my buddy Andy invited me to go with a group of people to go see it. And I'm always looking to check out new things, experience new things. And I'm not super into anime. I haven't watched a lot of anime. And so, new anime. My buddy wants me to go see it. I wouldn't go see it on my own, but since he was inviting me, absolutely, I'll go check it out. So that was the context under which I went to go see it. I was kind of assuming that it was going to be a standalone movie where I'd still not have the background, the context, so I'd be still diving into the deep end. But what I didn't realize at all going into it, and what he didn't tell me, and I think he intentionally didn't tell me this, is that it was the last 2 episodes of the last season of the show, plus a sneak peek of the first episode of the next season. In which case, this is not a movie. It's released in theaters. It's cut together, kind of, but it's not a movie at all. It is 3 episodes squished together that basically constitute the end of one arc, the epilogue of that arc, and then the beginning of the next arc with no middle for anything. It's just the end of one thing and the beginning of another with no real context. And in fact, if you watch it in the theater, when you watch it the way they did this, it plays the intro theme 3 times and credits roll 3 different times. Twice in the middle of this credits roll. They didn't even super cut it together or anything like that. It's legitimately as if you were watching at home, except without the skip to next episode option and without the skip opening credits option. You're just watching 3 things together. So, it was not designed for first-time viewers. I assumed it wasn't. I didn't go in. I wasn't really surprised. I thought it would be a little bit more accessible than it was. I thought that it would at least be a story in and of itself with a beginning, a middle, and an end. It wasn't that. It's not that at all. It's about the absolute worst possible way that you could introduce yourself to Demon Slayer, I would assume. Maybe there's 3 episodes that are a worse window to jump into, but I picked the worst possible way to be introduced to it. So I can't really review it because I just don't have any context for what I was even seeing with the characters or anything like that. So I'm watching it trying to piece together who they are, how all of this is working, because it kicks off and you're in the middle of a final fight. You're literally in the middle of a fight. And there's already people that are dead. And then it kicks off with the next episode, and you're just in a new location. I didn't know what was going on. Sometimes we're in the afterlife or something. It was crazy, wild as can be. And sometimes we're with the demons in their hierarchy, but I don't understand what that even means. And so it's talking about the numbers for each of the different higher up demons. What's going on here? And the demons are trippy, weird creatures with different rules for how each one of them works. So one of them's got arms for ears. It comes out of a jar. What is going on? I didn't know what I was watching. So, it was a weird day. It was a very strange experience. That's half the fun though. That's kind of what I wanted, is to be just lost in this thing. That happened. I was hoping I would have a little bit more fun of a take on it. I don't know that I can have a take on it even because it was so out there in left field where I jumped into things. But so, you know, anime is not really my thing. And so some people, oh, you're going to be mesmerized by the action and by the animation. It's like, yeah, I mean, the animation was different and the action was kind of handled cool. There's also a lot of things I don't understand, like they're in the middle of a fight and it just like lingers on someone going, oh, like just holds on someone shouting for 5 seconds, which is stylistically consistent with anime. I don't get it, but a lot of people enjoy that sort of thing though. So, you know, it was fun to see something different and kind of get an idea of this very dense mythology of everything going on. There's a novelty to experiencing something you don't normally experience, that there's a enjoyment that comes with that. Like you said, this is not the right way to introduce yourself to Demon Slayer. It's very much actually akin to how I watched Akira for the first time. So I went over to a friend's house, like, hey, we're watching Akira. Yeah, just kind of hop in and start watching it. And so I hop in to start watching Akira. In the opening scene that I watch, they're halfway through the movie, 2/3 of the way through the movie. A teddy bear's like attacking a guy and he punches the teddy bear and then milk starts pouring out of the teddy bear. What is going on? And then in the next scene, a gigantic amoeba attacks New Tokyo or whatever the place is called. I didn't know what was going on. And for whatever reason, once again, I've decided to embrace anime by jumping into the deep end of the third act of a story rather than starting from any sort of beginning. So, yeah. Perhaps Andy, my buddy, will be able to convince me, show me where to start, or I guess you start at the beginning. I don't know. Where do I start? At the beginning. Maybe he can entice me and we'll have like a binge party or something, watch through a bunch from the beginning or something like that. But so that was a little bit my experience watching it. It was kind of a weird thing for them to release it. Even the guy that was sitting next to us, he was like, wait, is this just like a couple episodes of the show that are already aired? And so even people in our theater opening night of this deal, some of them didn't even really realize what it was. I think the fact that they cut it the way they did with the credits still in there made for a really weird viewing experience. And so I think they could have found like some way to make this work better as a thing rather than as it's just a fan event. Like, hey, if you love our show, hey, you get to see this final fight on the big screen and you get to see an episode early. That's what this is. It's for fans to get to see it on the big screen and to get to see it early. That's it. That's the reason it exists. This is not going to be like, oh yeah, let's watch the 2013 or 2013. What year are we in? The 2023 movie. Like, no. That's not a thing. This exists purely just as an event for the fans on this occasion. So I don't know that was particularly interesting since I couldn't decipher much from it. I can't really evaluate it. My usual bag of tricks doesn't really apply when you watch the third act of one story arc in the prologue to the next. I can't evaluate character arcs or journeys or stories based off of that. I can just be like, oh, cool, it's like anime. It looks like anime and they scream like in an anime and there's trippy weird creatures like in anime. Yeah, this is different. That's why people are interested in it. It's a different flavor. It's a different recipe than what you get from Hollywood. It's all those things, but I can't tell you even what I think about it since I watched it in such a ridiculous way. That's my experience as someone that had no idea what they were doing going into this thing. Let me know what you thought down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching and keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.